banging the table.
No banging on the table. I'm not going to bang it with my knee either. No banging, Doug.
What episode? When are we?
I think it's 25 or 26.
We had a couple weeks off because of me.
Episode 25, the hiatus. Better than not hematosis. Halitosis.
I have to trim this thing up.
Is now the time you spend the most time looking at your own face?
Yeah. I don't usually look at my face.
Oh. I spend a lot of time looking at your face.
I think you spend a lot of time looking at your face, Mr.
I do.
Vane.
I mean...
Speaking of Mr. Vane and Dr. Sleep, I finally came across, you sent me a link about Dr. Sleep, some review of a movie.
Oh, yeah?
Did you remember? Yeah.
I don't know. I send you stuff all the time and you never react, so I assume you either never watch it or you do watch it and it's just, and then you move on. I sent you something today.
Well, you did?
Yeah, I was...
To who? To where?
I was scrolling through and I saw like a B movie.
Like on Facebook?
Yeah, I was scrolling around Facebook and I saw a poster for a B movie called Mr. Sleep.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I sent you that today.
Oh, I saw it like not too long ago.
Yeah, I tagged you in it before he went to medical school.
Yes,
Mr. Sleep.
Right. But I read the whole thing, and at the end it was like, it was a big waste of time watching this movie. Apparently, that review. Well,
all I saw was the poster.
Yeah,
I saw the poster, and I clipped you in it.
I don't even know. Oh, right here, maybe. No. I don't know. So many.
Well, I figure a movie called Mr. Sleep with that poster, I wasn't going to invest time in that. Although I do occasionally like to watch a movie that I know is going to be shit, just to see if it has the entertainment cheese factor.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it's just...
I don't know.
It's just bad.
Came across it somewhere. So, Fruitbox Films, or Fruitbox Entertainment, or whatever, Fruitbox, whatever he's calling it.
The Fruitbox Podcast Talk Show.
Well, his Facebook page for the films and all that. He wiped it all clean. There's no followers, no nothing on it.
Oh. It's going fresh.
Yeah, so I sent out, like, invites to everybody that's on there right now is everybody off of my invites. Because there was nothing on it until he uploaded the film to it.
Honestly, I didn't really look.
Not the group, the page, right?
Yeah. Oh, I still get stuff.
Fruitbox. It's just called Fruitbox. So there's 19 followers now. They're all my people I know for some strange reason.
It's bizarre.
7 likes. 19 follows.
Can someone please explain?
No one's going to explain to you, you cherry-picking herd.
So, hey, well, I think we're getting rusty.
Well, we were a little bit rusty, but that's what happens during the halitosis. Hiatus.
Halitosis.
Yeah. You forget to ask the most important question on the Double D podcast. What's under the fridge?
Not a lot, actually.
I broke my phone.
Sorry. I was going to do a water fast, 3-day water fast, but I kind of ate dinner, so it didn't work.
Dumb and Drunk was episode 25, so this is episode 26.
Dumb and Drunk?
Yeah, remember we did the live?
Is that what we called it? Dumb and Drunk?
If you're dumb, you're drunk.
Right. That was the last one.
I think that's why we needed to take a hiatus, because that one was so punishing. No, wait, it wasn't the last one, because we did an episode after that. So this must be episode 27.
Yeah. Bush Light. Because everybody likes a light bush.
We're both getting a bush to ourselves?
Yeah.
Private bush. I like this kind of party. And we haven't done one of these in a while.
Speaking of Bush, oh, wait till we're on TikTok here.
Yeah, fuck, they can wait. We can wait.
Speaking of Bush, so in the 80s, girls had like a big bush, right?
Yeah.
And then the 90s, they had the landing strip.
Yeah.
And then 2000s, they were bald.
Bald eagles.
And then 2023, they have dick.
Your open my
bush
beer.
like.
God damn.
Right?
I miss the 90s. Well, cheers to that. Welcome back.
So,
Bush.
yeah. So speaking of fruit box,
Right.
Chris is finally back at filming,
Yeah.
and I'm finally back at holding the boomstick.
Holding the boomstick and dragging your feet. Well, hey, I
That's probably the most I've ever been in a film so far. In the fucking, 2 years, 3 years.
sadly, yeah. I know that there's the I know you don't like this, but there's the serial killer ones he wants you to be in.
I know.
And there's some, like, cutaway scene he needs me to do where I'm, like, handcuffed or something. And he's like, oh, I keep meaning to get that. And if I did, then that's another one finished. And I'm like, okay, that works. And then there's a bunch of other ones coming up, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, oh, I don't know where, I don't know if you or I could fit into any of those. It's almost like, I think we need to film.
I'm looking forward to being a serial killer.
I think it would be a nice way to kind of let some stuff out, you know? Sometimes it's fun to just play someone a little crazy on film and let out some of the madness.
Yeah, I just act normal.
Usually, yeah. I mean, finding the sleaziness of the Pigeon King wasn't hard. It was just like, I basically was just like, what would Chris do? And then that's how I found the motion.
Should we play the premiere of the? It's a short one, right?
It's like what,
What's
3.5
it called?
minutes? Remember when?
Remember when?
Can we get it right there on the screen? Hey, people who are coming in and not staying, what's up? We're about to do a YouTube premiere here on the Double D podcast. And our man Doug was played a very important role in the creation of this.
So remember we did that space Blackwater, blackface space thing, whatever it's called, right? And we did
Dark Star, Pirates of Blackwater.
Right. That's what I said. And we did it on the split screen like this.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I got a copy, I can send it to you.
Yeah.
So I went back and checked it out. We were fucking yapping through the whole thing.
Well, at least it still exists in some capacity, and I think he has a copy of it, which I'm going to ask for.
He probably
'cause
does.
I'd like it for like a potential demo reel thing, just to grab a couple of the snappy good lines from it. Or have like a YouTube channel that's just scenes I've been in.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Like a promo reel thing.
Yeah, or even just something I can look at, 10 years from now and go, hey! Bush!
So anyway, we yapped through the whole thing, so which wasn't the best.
But it does exist.
So here is
Remember
the fruit
when?
boys or whatever, the fruit box.
Remember
Speaking of
when
boxes,
the first
bushes and boxes.
Push box. Remember When is the first film of 2024 by Fruitbox Films, and we are going to premiere it now on the Double D podcast for everyone's viewing pleasure. If you're watching on TikTok, head on over to YouTube and look up Remember When.
Fruitbox Entertainment.
Is that what it is?
That's the channel name now.
That's the channel name. Fruitbox Entertainment. All right, let's check this out.
You still there? Are you awake?
I think we lost them.
Yeah, I'm still here. I just dozed off for a little bit.
I need you to stay with me, okay?
Yeah. It just hurts a little bit. So weak and tired.
I know. We're coming. Do you still have the gun?
Yeah.
Do you have ammo for it?
No, just the one in the chamber.
Okay. Hopefully you won't need it. Are you hidden? Don't get spotted, okay? Everything will be alright.
fuck's sakes.
I know. There's always something on the Double D podcast.
I give the fuck up.
Well, we tried to premiere Remember When here on the Double D podcast. We ran into some slight technical difficulties because it says it's recording. Hey! We can stitch that together later.
We are back.
Yeah, we,
Like,
I don't know, we got dumped out.
so anyways, so it got me thinking about, you didn't burn your eyeballs out in the eclipse? Like
I
everybody's
didn't.
fucking afraid of?
I went out accidentally with Max because he was being a bit crazy, and I thought, you know what? Get something to take him outside, and that helps him out. And I was like, hey, do you want to sneak outside and get a freezy in the garage? He's like, oh, yeah! So we went out, and we get the freezy, and I was like, do you want to go sit on the steps? He's like, yeah, okay. I start to walk up to the steps. I see the sun just beating down on the steps, and I stop, and I'm like, whoa, wait. I was like, no, we can't sit on the steps. He's like, why? I'm like, but I had to explain the whole eclipse thing to him. I mean, he kind of knew, but at one point, I was kind of trying to peek around the roof of the house.
Oh, it was really
like,
overcast.
I just took my phone and it went like this. And then the battery fried, exploded. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But no, I did a little recording of the eclipse. I think it might have been done by then.
It was pretty overcast. Couldn't see it.
Yeah, no. Like when I was at work.
It got a little dark, like it was like in a rain or something, but that was it.
When the whole time I was out, like driving in it, yeah, it was complete cloud cover. I couldn't even see where the sun was. So, kind of anticlimactic.
It's all hokey.
Yeah.
I'm just going to burn our eyes out.
Now, that would make a great horror movie.
It'd be like the kid fucking, wanted a dog. No, he can't have a dog, so the kid went out and fucking burnt his eyes out so they can get a fucking seeing eye dog.
That happen? Or is that like a pitch?
That's a pitch, sure.
A seeing eye dog appears.
Yeah, the kid wanted a dog, and the parents said, no, you can't have a fucking dog. So the kid went out and looked at the eclipse, burnt its eyeballs out, was blind, so they get her to see an eye dog.
It's so dark.
You don't like that one?
Well, I mean, it's dark, but the kid clearly was very passionate.
So you know what's dark? I saw this one where this Aussie guy and his kid were out in the bush, and they're looking at a kangaroo feeding, and it's just a cut up from the waist up, right? And the father and the son there and like this, and they're looking, oh look, it's a kangaroo. And the kangaroo kind of looks over, and the father's going, oh, don't worry. The son gets a little panicky, and he's like, don't worry, son. Kangaroos are herbivores. They don't eat vegetables. And the kangaroo goes, huh? And starts going towards him, and the father looks down at the kid, and the kid's in a wheelchair.
Oh, God.
The father runs away, and the kid's like, ah!
That's so That's fucked. I like it. Is that a joke someone told, or you saw a video?
I saw it on, I don't know, some social media thing.
Oh, shit. That is funny. It sounds like something that, what's his name, Shane Gillis would do. It was one of his sketches.
No, it wasn't him, though, but fucking Nick Cage is in a new movie.
There's one he did a while back. It's finally available on Prime now. I still haven't watched it. It's the one with Pedro Pascal. The Burden of Talent.
Well, is that where he plays himself, right?
Yeah, that's the one where he plays himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just perusing Prime the other day, and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of movies on here I want to see that I haven't seen yet. There was Sisu, John Wick 4, and that movie. And I've seen Sisu and John Wick, now I just need to see...
Sisu is pretty cool.
Sisu is
sick. It's like a Rambo... what was the Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando?
Yeah. It was
he runs in front of 30 machine guns and doesn't get hit.
Oh no! The thing is, though, he does get hit.
Yeah,
he gets shot and injured constantly. Like there's the one,
but he lives through it all.
He just refuses to die. And there were a couple of times where I was just like, okay, come Calm the fuck. I'm like, I like a crazy thing as much as the next guy, but there were a couple scenes where I'm like, come on, the fuck out of here.
Denise
But that's what also made it so entertaining.
Yeah.
Is it didn't take itself. It was a serious movie that didn't take itself too seriously. You know?
Denise was all stressed out watching it. So as soon as he found the gold, he was walking past the Nazis, just like,
Like, what's that? That's the thing. I'm like, oh, I know something's going to happen with the Nazis. It's just like, who's going to do something to him? Who's going to do it? And then he walks by and nothing happens. I'm like, oh.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it comes back around in some way. But there was just, oh, God, there were so many moments, those like, oh, my God,
There's some good
moments. There were some great
deaths in
ones.
it.
The one where the guy's, like, walking through. They send the first few guys into the minefield. And they're going past the dust, and the mine just flies through the air and hits the guy in the helmet. Boom! That was a great one. But the scene...
I wasn't expecting it when... spoilers. I wasn't expecting it when the horse fucking blew up, though.
No,
I wasn't expecting that.
But when you think about it now, though, they kind of were leading right up to it. You just see
he was patting his...
slowly the clop, 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 and then... Sorry, spoilers.
Kaboom.
Yeah, there was a little bit of animal cruelty. A little bit of human cruelty. But some good revenge in there. Like, there's that great scene where he arms all the women.
Yeah.
And then you know exactly what's going to happen next. And it's like, you're just like, yeah, let's see it. And then...
Just mow them down.
Yeah.
So you think there's going to be a big comeback of like zombie movies? Because they're doing I Am Legend 2, right? They're doing 28 years later.
The funny thing, and I know we've had this discussion before, those are all like, they're in the zombie bubble, but they're not fully zombie movies. Because those things, the Night Stalkers or whatever they're called, and the things from 28 Days Later, they don't eat people. They just kill people. Like, when you think zombie, you think, brains, like things that go around eating everything because they have this this compulsion to feed. But the things in 28 Days Later and the things in I Am Legend, they weren't technically zombies. So there could be a resurgence of movies that don't feel like zombie movies. Like the very standard, what we got so much of for so long. So zombie-ish.
Yeah, in the 2000s was a lot of zombie-ish.
Yeah, it was very, very heavy into the zombie content. And some of it was good, but it got washed in with a lot of shit.
Yeah, well, this Nick Cage movie coming out called Acadian, it's a horror. It's in the near future on a decimated Earth. Paul, who's Nick Cage.
Paul
Atreides. And his twin sons find tranquility by day, but terror by night when ferocious creatures awaken and consume all living souls in their path.
Ew.
That's kind of like, I Am Legend, where
Yeah.
they go, they don't go out in the daylight, they only come out at night. Is that a song? Don't come out at night.
That's always this. It's a good setup when it's like, certain times of day you're more likely safe, but if you don't get back in time, you're fucked.
Yeah.
See, I liked.
And when Paul is nearly killed, the boys come up with a desperate plan for survival, using everything their father taught them to keep them alive.
Oh, so it's like one of those. He's like
April
he's
12th,
setting the movie up, and then he dies, and they
Well, it says almost dies. Nearly killed.
nearly killed. He becomes unable to protect them anymore, and they must protect him. I saw a movie like that once years ago. It had Ellen Page in it before she became Elliot. And it was about two sisters living with their dad during some kind of apocalyptic event, and he accidentally kills himself with a chainsaw in an unfortunate chainsawing accident, and then his daughters end up having to survive at this compound he's built on their own, and neither one of them is equipped to do what he was doing, and everything just kind of slowly falls apart. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, it was an old Ellen Page movie.
What movies are you looking forward to coming out?
I still haven't seen Dune 2, Part 2. I'm looking forward to that. The new Mad Max Furiosa prequel. Looking forward to that one. Shit, I don't know. I don't get to go to the movies anymore like I used to. So, I saw the trailer. I was watching the trailer for Inside Out 2 with Max before putting him to bed. And that looks like it'll be fun. It's a kid's movie. You ever seen Inside Out?
I don't know. I think I know
It's the one. It's about the emotions inside a person's body.
Right.
So like their brain is being run by these emotions, and it's about this little girl, and she's got these 5 emotions in her head. She's got joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust, and they all kind of take turns piloting her during certain parts of her life. And yeah, it's she's going on this emotional journey, and it kind of shakes things up in her head, and this whole shit ensues where these emotions have to like go through her subconscious and her long-term memory to try and like basically fix her because she's going through a tough time. And the second one is about her becoming a teenager and all the shit that happens, like going through puberty and all that stuff.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so it looks like it'll be interesting. I think my son will be kind of lost because the first one almost relates to him, or he can kind of... well, I guess he can't even relate to it. He's 5. But he could relate to it enough that he kind of understood what was happening.
Yeah.
This next one, I think he'll be totally lost, but he'll still find the silly stuff funny. I mean, that's enjoyment for me when I can see him enjoying a film. I was talking to him tonight about he was saying how cool it would be if there was a dog that was part dragon. And I was like, oh, there is. It's from The Neverending Story. You know, Falcor.
Right. Yeah,
He's a luck
yeah.
dragon. And I'm explaining it to him, and he seems kind of interested. And I'm like, well, you can't watch that movie. He's like, why not? I'm like, it's too scary and too sad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a kid's movie. I watched it when I was 5. But no, you can't watch The Neverending Story. It will crush your life. So you'll have to wait till you're 9 or 10 or 15.
You should watch. Have you ever heard of Osmosis Joe?
Osmosis Jones?
Yeah.
With Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock does the voice of Osmosis Jones.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah. And Bill Murray,
And
right?
Bill Murray is the
Bill
actor.
Murray's the guy that
they're
gets
inside of.
Yeah. Sick,
And then
yeah.
the pill, the police officer pill, the guy
Right.
that he's working with, I think that's Fraser's brother. The guy who plays Niles.
Oh,
I think he
yeah,
does
yeah.
the voice of that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, he might like that. I don't know where I would find that.
I don't know.
He went and saw Kung Fu Panda 4 today, and he'd never seen 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter,
No.
no. I mean, when they do a trilogy, usually it's kind of tied together, and then when they try and get that 4th, it's like we're doing something fresh, you know?
You know the I haven't seen is the last Indiana Jones. When he's really old.
Me either. I can't bring
I
myself
totally even forgotten him. Like I don't even remember seeing it anywhere or whatever. Just maybe.
I think it's on Disney.
Oh, that's why.
Dial of Destiny.
Is that what it's called? Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny. And I mean, from what people have told me, they're like, it's not as bad as the 4th one, but...
What was the 4th one? Crystal Skull.
Crystal Skull.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, when you
That
end...
was the last movie I ever saw with my dad at the theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Got it. His birthday is May 4th. Mine's April 26th, and usually celebrate our birthdays at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So somebody gave us tickets.
Did he enjoy it, at least?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't, you
Yeah.
know. He
I
was a
mean-
big James Bond guy.
You like James Bond?
Loved James Bond.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did he ever see any of the Daniel Craig movies?
No, I don't think so.
No?
He died in 2010, so no.
I think... When did Casino Royale come out?
I don't know.
I think it came out before that, because Daniel Craig's been playing Bond for... He did, what, 6 movies as Bond?
Oh, well, maybe.
Casino Royale, I think, came out before that. I feel like it was a 2008 movie.
2006.
Oh, there you go. So maybe he did.
So yeah, he did then for sure. Yeah.
So he saw it before they started to get questionable. So, I mean, depending on who you talk to,
Right.
there's the...
Daniel Craig was still good.
I liked
As a
it.
Bond, yeah.
I thought
Who
Casino
was
Royale
after
was
him?
great. Apparently, it's going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Well, there hasn't been anybody since.
There hasn't been anybody since, but there's rumor that Aaron Taylor Johnson is taking over as Bond.
Right.
I don't know how credible that is, because I've heard, oh, this person, Idris Elba, what's his name? Fucking Henry Cavill.
Oh.
Those guys are both, I feel like, maybe a little too old, but I think Aaron Taylor Johnson could do a really good job if given the chance.
Yeah, he was more. I think he probably liked them. I mean, he was 80, right? So when he died, so
Yeah.
he was more into like the Roger Moore and
Sean Connery. Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton only did the two, but
that was later on. Timothy Dalton.
yeah, I think he did License to Kill, and one other one, the one where the guy gets eaten by the shark, or maybe that's License to Kill.
Can't remember.
I remember really liking License to Kill as a kid because it was like the edgiest, most violent Bond I'd seen.
Yeah.
Like the guy's friends, they put a big piece of meat on one hook and him on the other hook, and there's a shark, and the more the meat the shark eats, the more the guy gets lowered into the water, and then the shark starts eating his legs, and then the meat gets lowered more, and it's like a counterbait, and his buddy gets like his legs eaten off by the shark. I was like, damn, that's dark for a Bond movie. Like, they might have the setup but not really show the aftermath.
Right.
And they showed a fair amount. And then the one guy got like his head decompressed and it exploded. Yeah, that was a dark Bond movie.
We used to go to. I remember we'd once in a while, we'd all go over to his place in the basement and watch. Try to watch a whole bunch of Bond movies for the weekend. Just drink martinis.
That'd be fun.
Didn't get through too many movies.
Well, when I was, I don't remember how old I was, but we were up at the cottage, me and my brothers, and we had X amount of movies, and, we'd watch them all. And there was people that lived a couple cottages down, and we started a trading thing, where we would trade some of our movies for some of theirs, and they had, like, all the Bond movies.
Yeah.
And we'd grown up watching, like, a couple, and they had all these ones we'd never even heard of. So I watched so many Bond movies that summer. That's when I really saw some of the Roger Moore ones I'd never heard of, like Octopussy and Moonraker, and the ones that are a little more, I don't know, hokey, I guess. But
no, they're just older, right?
Yeah.
They made with the times of what they had.
Yeah, it's always entertaining. They're always fun, and some of them haven't aged super well. What's that?
Just scrolling through news headlines and stuff to talk about why Busch Light is literally the last beer you should settle for.
Thanks, Bush. I gotta say, I mean, it's
really mild. Right?
It's low impact. It's beer you could give your dog.
It's one of those beers, if you're gonna have to do like an all-day party and an all-night party, you might want to be drinking these because they're light and easy, right?
You're not gonna feel like shit after drinking Busch Light all night. Might not feel like a man, but you're not gonna feel like shit. Unless feeling like a man feels like shit, I don't know.
Good. If your all-time favorite tasting notes are skunky and watery, then Busch Light is 100% the beer for you. What the fuck? Who's writing this?
I don't know. That's funny.
Bud Light. That's who's writing this.
Good Lord.
It's the competition.
Congratulations, you got more views than 84% of live creators with a similar following. Wow, there's something to be proud of. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Let's try another one. Well, there's a lot of people with about the same amount of followers I have that just like made a video once and it was really popular and a bunch of people followed and never watched anything they ever did again. Like the million or so people from Indonesia who never watched anything else I ever did.
The ones that love the sword.
Yes, the ones that love the sword.
The sword people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Toy people.
So what have you been up to the last 2 weeks?
Being sick, going to work. I don't know. I was thinking that before I was coming over. I was like, oh man, it's been 3 weeks. We'll have a lot to catch up on. And I'm like, what the fuck have I done for the last 3 weeks? While Doug's been avoiding me. Going on adventures and watching hockey in exotic and wonderful places and eating incredible Philly cheesesteaks. And I've just been like at home playing Helldivers 2 and watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I guess that's what I've been doing. I'm playing a lot of Helldivers.
Are you finished fucking It's Sunny in Philadelphia yet?
I finished it and I was like, the last episode of the last season I was watching it, it was just so bizarre but also amazingly mesmerizing. And then I didn't realize until the next time I went to watch another episode, and I was like, oh shit, that was the last episode? And it was funny, like, you don't really know the characters on the show, but it was an episode entirely about one character taking a mental health day.
Right.
And convincing himself that he didn't have any health issues because he's so narcissistic about his health and prideful that he wouldn't take any medication for his cholesterol. He was going to lower it through sheer power of will. And he goes on this like quest to be in control of like his body.
Right.
And it was at the ending sequence of it, I'm watching it, I'm just like, this is so fucking crazy. And then by the time it ends, it does this whole like, you know when you watch a movie and it gets to like the final scene and you see a bunch of things in a row that you realize, oh wait,
ties everything
that's what
together.
that was, and that's what that was, and that's what these all meant.
Yeah.
It does one of those, and then the episode ends, and it's like, the show did a great job of being very silly, very offensive and tongue-in-cheek, but at times just going, we created this show, we can do whatever the fuck we want, and then they do it. And it's like, wow, I did not see that coming. Like at one point, I think late seasons, one of the characters does a like 8-minute interpretive dance to explain this character arc that's been going on for like 8 seasons. And it's like, you always been wondering, like, what is going on with this guy? And then this sequence happens, and it's done so well and so professional looking. And it's like, you can't help but be transfixed by it. It's done so incredibly well. And you can tell the actor put in the time to actually learn how to do that kind of dance. And it comes out of nowhere, considering the rest of most of the show is just gruesome dick and fart being awful to each other.
Great.
Yeah, every now and then a moment comes out of nowhere that's like nothing else that's happened on the show, and you're like, good on ya. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Have you seen Dexter?
The new season?
No, I mean we've only watched season 1.
I watched.
Just finished it tonight.
I remember watching Dexter when it came out and telling everybody about it, and nobody had a way of watching it, so nobody could watch it with me. But yeah, I watched the first, I think, 7 seasons.
Right.
1's good, 2's good, 3's not as good as 1 or 2. 4 was the best season of the show. 4 was so good that it didn't matter what they did after. It couldn't quite measure up, even when the seasons were pretty good. I remember it being 1, 2, good. 3, meh. 4, amazing. 5, meh. 6, a little better than 5. 7, and I think 7's where it stopped. And then everyone who bitches and gripes online says that nobody liked the ending. Nobody liked the final episode. And then they eventually did another season that takes place after, and people were mixed about it.
Right.
Now, I've always wanted to kind of finish it, and I guess it's just a matter of finding the episode I left off on and clicking play. But yeah, it's got such a solid start. Like the first season is so good.
First season's pretty good.
Yeah, the second one's good too.
It was good. I mean, it wasn't like it's the best movie, best. It was good though.
The thing is, that came out at a time when you didn't see a lot of shows like that, and Dexter was so well received and popular. All these shows you've seen
Like you.
after, that you'd think, oh, Dexter kind of feels like this. No. That show kind of feels like Dexter.
Right.
Dexter walked so other shows could run.
First before I even thought about looking.
Dexter
at
walked so the other shows could run. And yeah, it gets yeah, definitely watch. Yeah, let me know when you're done season 4.
Well,
It'll take you a while.
I'll see if I get. Well, fuck, it's only been a week. We did season 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes about a week to watch a season.
Denise likes to power through them. She can't watch anything else until she gets through.
Well, we'll see how far she makes it before she's like, okay, you know what?
How many people can you kill?
A lot.
Apparently.
I think in season this, I can't remember when. There's a couple times where he has to like hold off because of suspicions and whatnot. But yeah,
There's that one detective that's
Dokes. Surprise, motherfucker! It's one of the best memes.
watching it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, the villain in season 4 was the best one. Just so good. But I'll let you get
skip
there.
the 4.
No, you gotta watch 2. 2's very important.
Gotta
Like,
watch 2.
there's so much that gets revealed about how fucked up what happened to him as a kid is. And then it just gets deeper and you learn more and it expands outward. And, yeah. And then by the time you get to 4, it's like, yeah. All the things he's... I don't want to spoil it for you. You'll get there. And you'll enjoy it.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever watched Dead Like Me? I don't know if I think maybe I did talk to you about that. I feel like I watched Dexter, and then I started watching all the shows that were kind of out around that time, and Dead Like Me was another one.
Dead Like Me. I don't know. It
Yeah.
sounds familiar, but
I don't even know where you would watch it anymore. I have it on DVD somewhere. It's a show about a 18-year-old girl who gets her first job. And she's got a bad fucking attitude, and her mom's basically threatening to kick her out of the house unless she gets a job. So she goes and she gets this shitty file clerk job, and on her first day, she's out on her lunch break, and she gets killed by a toilet seat from a space station that's breaking up in the atmosphere. Fucking toilet seat flies through the atmosphere like a meteorite and blows her to pieces. Fucking kills her.
great.
Right? But a minute before that happened, some strange guy was talking to her, asking about her name, and she's like telling the guy to fuck off. And he figures out what her last name is, and he touches her just before she dies. And when she gets blown up by the toilet seat, she's just standing there watching the aftermath of it happening, and she's been reaped. Her soul was popped out of her body right before she died. And the Grim Reaper who pulled out her soul, that was the last soul of his contract. So he retires as a Reaper, and then she has to take over. And she ends up meeting this other Grim Reaper who's played by Mandy Patinkin, and he's so fucking good on this show. And he brings her to this diner where all the Reapers hang out, and introduces her to these other Grim Reapers that work for him, and basically tells her, this is your job now.
Yeah.
This is what you do. I give you a name on a post-it, you go in a location, you find where the person is, you pop their soul before they die. And it's about her struggling with that life when she never really lived a life of her own.
Right.
And coming to grips with all that shit. I fucking loved that show. And it only had 2 seasons and a movie. But
Sounds a good premise.
it's a great premise. Yeah. And the girl that plays Georgia, she's fantastic. Mandy Patinkin is amazing as Rube. And then all the other little Reaper characters. Fucking Mason. He's just like, he's kind of a British sleazeball. And he's just always like trying to scam people and steal shit, and he never has any money.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's the one that works as a meter maid, one Reaper. She's just the angriest person in the world.
So just this things they did in their past lives.
Oh yeah, you learn all the different ways that they died. Like as the episodes go on, you learn more about their backstories, and every episode they've got to reap somebody, and you learn stuff about them. Yeah,
Reap.
it was a well concocted little dark comedy.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I Dead Like Me, definitely familiar sounding. I don't think I've seen it though.
Nah, it's an older show. It was like back in the early 2000s, I think.
Right, I'm probably too young to see that. Remember you asked me if I had any pictures or whatever of me working with the lions and tigers?
Yes.
I don't have any pictures of me, but I have pictures of my son Garrett playing with baby lynx and baby tigers.
Oh.
I found. A little baby tiger and a baby lynx.
That's cute. I keep seeing these videos of, I guess after the fact it's okay to say, but these like animal attack videos keep popping up on my feed.
Yeah.
Like,
once you watch one,
yeah, you just gotta
into
kind of
all
keep
them,
going.
right?
And it's the oh man, there was one I was watching the other day, and it wasn't an animal attacking a person; it was just animals in the wild. And it was I don't know what it was, a bison. It was small. It was like a teenage bison, and it was drinking out of the water, and a croc
This in fucking
grabs.
Yellowstone?
I don't know.
Croc
Grabs its leg and pulls it into the water, and it's trying to get away. And it's moving through the water, and there's somebody watching crying the whole time. And it gets to the shore, and it just can't get its leg out of the damn croc's mouth. And then another bigger crocodile comes and just... and then they both pull it underwater. And the whole time there's just this woman weeping while watching it.
A woman on a safari to see the animals.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's going to be so majestic. It's like, no, it's not majestic. It's brutal and savage and nature.
Jesus.
You know, something I see, and I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but when you see somebody rescue an animal from a snake,
right?
I mean, I get it. You want to save the cute animal from the snake, but you just denied that snake its dinner. Whatever that thing was, it was coiled up and crushing and going to eat. That was its meal.
You've interfered in nature.
Yeah. And what if that snake had babies? What if it was going to make more little baby snakes?
Yeah, but it's a fucking snake.
It was a mama snake.
I thought I had a good fucked up.
You will never see me come to a snake's defense, but also, human interference can cause problems for an ecosystem. So.
I don't think fucking saving one fucking bird from a fucking snake is gonna fucking...
Nah, fuck
change
birds.
the whole fucking
Eat all the birds. I don't give a shit about birds.
frog or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, it's always so sad when you watch the fucking frog get eaten by the snake. It takes so long, and the frog's just like you keep hoping. You're like, man, it's just gonna do a real well-timed jump.
Maybe he'll get out.
And you know, I'm watching this
Hopefully
video.
he'll die.
The snake has got one leg, and the frog's just like trying to, and then it stops, and it's just its arms are hanging out.
There's an Instagram channel called
Slowly eaten by snake.
Nature is Metal. And it's all fucking
Nature's metal. Just terrible videos of animals.
animals and yeah, just yeah.
Oh, I can't watch that shit. I mean, I get
You
it.
just told me you were.
Well, it comes up on my feed,
And you watch it.
and it's like one of those things that you don't want to watch, but you also can't look away.
Nature is Metal. Yeah, it shows like everything, like you name it.
I mean, shit. If you've watched Planet Earth, you've seen a lot of it. I mean, it's not like
this is like
animals being ripped to shreds by.
yeah,
axe.
it's just pretty graphic.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shit.
But it's like a car accident. You can't fucking look away.
Yeah, but you have to make the conscious choice to say, I'm not watching that shit. Every now and then, I'll be scrolling through and I see like a ingrown toenail extraction video, and it's like, oh,
Like they'll show
I
they'll
gotta
show
watch.
like a mountain lion that's been run over by a train.
Oh, that's fucked up. Oh,
That's fucked up.
see, I don't want to see shit like that. That just hurts my heart. You know that fucking thing didn't die instantly.
Or you get this fucking jaguar that's eating the fucking monkeys, and the baby's still holding on to the mom.
Oh. I saw one.
That's sad, man.
I
But
saw
that's
one. And
nature.
It's over so fast that you're like, well, what the fuck?
They're eating from the ass. They're eating the ass out. I think the wolves.
Oh God! There was one of an
There's 7 of
antelope.
them there.
An antelope giving birth, and as it's giving birth, a cheetah runs up, and it just like the baby
Just
pops
takes
out,
it.
and the mama runs, and the baby's just standing there shaking, and there's a fucking cheetah looking at it. And I was like, I gotta check the comments because the video ends. And it's like, does anybody know what happened? And somebody was like, oh, well, the cheetah felt bad for the antelope and raised it as its own, and then attached as a picture of the cheetah with the baby antelope in its mouth, just dragging it away. And it's, you guys are sick fucks.
Oh shit!
Nah, it makes me sad. I hate when. I mean, it's nature,
It is sad,
and I do accept it because it does happen out there. I'm not going to be the woman
I
crying.
don't need to watch it.
No, I don't need to
Yes.
watch it, and I wouldn't want to go on safari to be like, oh, look at all the animals, because I know how much fucked up stuff I'm going to see. Nah, I don't. No, it's a lot of youth and a lot of elderly getting picked off by hungry predators. It's not something I want to watch. I acknowledge that it's part of life. I don't want to watch it.
Well, you sent me
Bush.
the.
Oh, thing.
Yeah, I watched it the other day. It's good.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Too bad you
funny.
can't see it over there, folks.
Yeah, sorry guys. Well, I mean, shit. It's actually no. I think it's on my other profile.
Pugsley.
Yeah, I think it's on the Pugsley profile.
Yeah,
But every now and then, I download it off the one and I'll upload it on the other.
it's good.
I thought so. You know, just splicing those two things together.
Fits perfectly. Perfectly. Yeah.
I even
Nope.
asked them. I'm like, any xenomorphs up there?
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you about? Have we talked since the plumbing issue?
The plumbing issue.
I didn't tell you about the plumbing issue. Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
Clogged the toilet?
No, we our sink started backing up,
Oh.
and I mean we've had it before, but we had to deal with it this time. We dealt with it this time on our own rather than calling a plumber. So every 2 years, maybe 2.5, just from shit. I mean, we're very careful about stuff not going down the sink. You know, we got the strain thing in there. And whenever it fills up with goop and shit, I toss it in the garbage. Don't let any food get washed down the drain, but it doesn't matter how careful you are, shit still goes down there.
Right.
And sometimes it's like stuff that was coming out was like, how did that get down there? It was like one of the old things we used to use to clean the baby bottles. You know, it's like a wiry thing with the brush on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in there.
It was in there. So
The fuck?
the sink started backing up, and when it gets like this, any water that goes down, it sends back up, and it doesn't send it back alone. It
Yeah.
comes back with gross
Stuff.
shit that's stuck in the pipe. And
Did you film it?
I filmed. I didn't upload it.
I knew you'd film it.
I no. I don't. I don't know if I actually filmed it while it was happening.
Oh.
But
Would've
before
been
we
good
before we
fucking-
wend and got the big snake,
You got a friend in your hand there.
I do.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, the ladybug. These fucking things love me when I come over here. Hey, get out of here.
The last couple of days have been
Go over
so
there.
many flies and bugs.
Go over there. No, get off me. Go over there. There you go. So before we got... Oh, there's another one on the mic.
They're all over, man.
Oh, wow. Before we got the big snake, I was boiling kettles of hot water and dumping baking soda down the sink, trying to get all the shit out. And for like 4 hours, I was just gross shit was coming out, and I was using the strainer thing to strain it out, put it into a bowl, strain out all the gross shit, put it into this freaking bowl, and the bowl was full. By the time I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. It's like it's not really helping. It's superficial, the stuff that's coming out.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it was gross. Just smelly, gross shit. Like a leaching pit. You know what a leaching pit smells like? That's what it smelled like. So, when I was done doing that, Rob went out and he got a big fucking snake, the one that the plumber used 2.5 years ago. So we had to open up the ceiling in the basement to get to the pipe, because in his kitchen, the water pumps up into the ceiling, goes out the pipe and outside. Ours comes down it, and the blockage was down over there somewhere. So I might have video of us trying to feed the fucking snake into the pipe.
Right, because in the basement, you're on a septic, so in the basement the pipe goes through it around the ceiling level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we had to drain all the water out of the pipe before we could get the snake into it. And you know what this water smells like. So we got the tarp set up. Rob's on a ladder. I'm holding up like garbage cans for the water to go into. And this water smells like death. And every now and then he's like, I'm just going to try and get more out of the pipe. And then it like would flick. And we'd get sprayed with this putrid, rotten, smelly-ass water.
Jesus.
Yeah. But eventually we got the damn water drained. We got the snake in and cleared everything out. And then I recorded it as a TikTok and I put it in my drafts, but I haven't uploaded it yet. I took the bowl of sludge, walked it down to the end of the driveway, just across the street into this like puddle out in the woods, and just dumped it in there. And I'm wondering if I come back like now 3 weeks later,
Will stuff be growing?
to where I dumped the sludge, will it like have grown into some kind of Father, why did you abandon me?
It's like your comments. It's like, and then you just see like an eye go.
There you
Open
are.
up and
Oh, but I was finding so much gross shit popping out, and it had to come up through the drain, right? Just through the little fucking holes of in the drain of the sink, and this like solid shit was coming up. There was I think there was one of those picks that you use for your teeth. One of those somehow got down there. There's little things the kids use. They're like these tiny forks. They were for Leo to learn how to like use a fork. They were really, really small. One of those got down there. And then just, so it was disgusting.
Jesus.
But, we took care of it ourselves this time, which was, calling a plumber would have been easier. But, probably saved about $300 doing it ourselves.
At least, yeah.
And I had to, the worst part, the entire time I was dumping those boiling kettles of water and all the sludge would be coming back up, the water wouldn't go back down. So I had to keep dumping the water down the toilet to get it out of, so that I could pour more boiling hot water down. So I was making just trip after trip of putrid, rotten, stink water into the toilet over and over.
Sounds like good fun.
It was a rough day. Trying to take care of both kids. I think Nat was out for the day. And I'm just like trying to keep them entertained. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm taking care of the sludge.
Well, grossness.
Whoa. You'd been asking what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. That was about 3 days of my life I was dealing with that. The initial sludge day, the day I tried to fix it myself with the hot water and baking soda, and then the third day, which was, all right, let's get into the ceiling and get her done.
Fun.
Yeah, fun in the sun, fun in the sludge. You ever had any plumbing issues here?
No.
Your drainage good?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
No. I was trying to plunge it. Plunge it down.
Yeah.
See if that would get it, and the fucking plunger broke. Of all the things that happened, it didn't break. The handle didn't break. Like the rubber ring around the plunger just like cracked, and then it just be shooting the water out the side instead of
fuck.
Yeah. And then I went to the hardware store to buy a new plunger, and I go in there, and they got two different plungers up there. They got one that's like the ribbed plunger, that's got the grip handle on the top, and then they got just like the piece of wood sticking out of the rubber. The sticking out of the rubber wood one is like $8, and the ribbed one with the handle, it's like $20. And I'm looking at the girl that's working there. She's probably like 17 years old. It's like, what's the incentive to get the fancy plunger? Like, what does the ribbing and the handle do? And she's like, I don't know. I'm not sure, sir. I think maybe it's for generating torque. So I just looked at it, I was like, I'll take this shitty cheap one. I can generate my own torque. Like, I don't know.
Holy shit. No.
I don't know if I need the sport plunger. I'm not eating enough Mexican food.
You need to get that air compressor one.
Air compressor plunger?
Yeah, there's this one that it's like an air can, and it has the rubber thing seal on it. When you put it over top and you press it down, and it shoots a of air down in there.
That would be good. I've seen videos. I think there's something they do. I don't know. It's always been an Asian person doing it, so I don't know if it's like one of the ways they fix a clogged toilet in Japan or China. But it looks like almost like cellophane.
Well,
all the way around the toilet.
Well, it wouldn't be China because they just have
They
a
shit in
hole
a floor.
ground.
Well, they in a public toilet. They shit in a hole in the floor. But it's like this thing. It looks like they've covered the toilet with saran wrap, but it's like airtight, and it's like bubbling up the water, but it's all being held in by this layer of plastic, and then they just push on it, and the force of all the water being pushed airtight causes it to go down. So I mean, I don't know if you put this thing over the toilet, you heat it up so that it tightens, you flush until the water's pressing to the top, and then I don't know.
Be like a plunge. Same idea as the plungers.
Same idea as a plunger, but man, imagine if that thing broke while you were pushing down on it. It'd be like that scene in the thing.
Gross.
You know, in the thing when he's doing CPR and his hands
Right
go in the
through
guy's
it,
chest and snap off. I feel like the toilet would do that to you. Apparently, they're doing another thing.
Another thing?
Yeah, and Kurt
Like
Russell's
another movie?
Yeah, another movie, and Kurt Russell's son,
What's the name of the movie?
The Thing.
Oh,
I think it's a remake of John Carpenter's.
yeah.
And
Kurt Russell's
and
doing
Kurt
it.
Russell's son is playing the character that Kurt Russell played.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the son that tried to be a NHL goalie but wasn't good enough.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, played up in Vancouver. Huh.
Well, he tried.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, now you do your backup career just remaking movies your dad did. You can remake Bone Tomahawk in a couple of years.
Fucking, yeah. Guess the name helps a little bit too, eh? That family.
Always does.
For all of them.
I mean, the daughter is a decent actor. I've liked her in some stuff.
Hudson.
Yeah, Kate Hudson.
I loved her in Almost Famous.
Almost Famous is great.
Fucking fabulous movie.
Let's deflower the kid.
What a
the
great
fuck?
movie that is.
It is a great movie.
Yeah.
And Cameron Crowe was saying that it's like semi-autobiographical. Like it's kind of like that it's based a lot on things that happened when he was a kid. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because he toured around with, I don't remember which band he actually toured around with. But
Right.
yeah, he was like trying to write an article about a band and ended up becoming a roadie with him for a while.
Right. And that movie, the band was called Stillwater, I think.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a band, but
No.
uh,
But it had...
and they met with Humble Pie and traded off the groupies
Groupie.
and Penny Lane.
that was her name, right? Penny Lane?
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was really good in that, too. He was the guy who, I think, ran the newspaper the kid was trying to write the article for.
Was it? I don't remember him reading it. I
Yeah.
thought there was a Japanese guy that was.
No, it was Philip Seymour Hoffman. Because I remember there's this great scene where he's having a hard time and he calls him and starts talking to him. And the whole movie, he was always trying to kind of play it off like, you know, oh, I work for a newspaper and, you know, I'm doing this, I'm that.
Rolling Stones.
Yeah. He was playing off like he was a big shot. And he has this really, like, kind of humbling moment where the kid calls him and he's trying to, like, you know, help him get through this tough time being away from home. And the kid's like, man, I'm really glad you were home when I called. And he's like, of course I'm home. I'm uncool. It's like...
Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah. That's right.
It's just kind of like letting the kid know. It's like, you know what? Don't get caught up with trying to be as cool as these people. You never will, and you'll kill yourself trying to keep up with it, with that lifestyle. Yeah, it was a great little moment. I don't know if I ever saw that kid do anything else, but he probably did. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone else did. Like Jason Lee was the singer,
Yeah,
and the guy who played the guitarist, he's done lots of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, he was Dr. Manhattan in what's it called? Watchmen. It's the guy who was naked and blue the whole fucking movie. His dick just out the whole damn time. Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, they're all on the plane. The plane's going down. It's going through Earth, and they think they're all going to die.
All the truth starts coming out.
I slept with your wife. I'm gay. And then all of a sudden, everything's fine again. Everybody's like,
Everything corrects. They did that in Seinfeld. Jerry, I cheated during the contest.
fuck, it's a good one.
Well, that's what that Shane Gillis sketch is all about. You ever see the one on the plane?
Oh, yes.
And he's like calling him his mechanic to tell him what a piece of shit he is. Then everybody starts making these nasty phone calls.
Yes.
I saw another one he did. I didn't see the whole thing. I only saw like the first half. But it was, he's like at a house with a bunch of his friends, and these two guys bust in to rob them. Like, because somebody owes them some money. And he's like, hey, you guys don't want to be here. You don't know how much danger you're in, because all the guys that were there were like crazy. And these two guys with the guns look like they're not actually criminals. They're just trying to do something stupid. But I gotta watch
I haven't
the
seen that one.
And then there's Tinder Dad. Not Tinder Dad. OnlyFans Dad. The dad that has to go on OnlyFans to support his kids.
Jesus.
That one's funny.
Where does he do those skits? Just on his...
I think he does them for... I don't know if he does them for YouTube or for what, but he... I don't know, he got to a certain point where he became... Like, you know, he's trying to do comedy for a long time, and then he just, like, kind of blew up. And I think at some point in that, he was like, hey, it's a good time to start... You know, I'm doing my stand-up. Let's do some sketches, too. Just throw them out there and see what happens. And yeah, I kept seeing the airplane one over and over.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, pop up a lot.
And then there's a whole bunch of other ones. And I've seen the one where he's kind of making fun of diners, drive-ins, and dives, whatever that
Yeah,
was.
I think so. Yeah.
He's being like that guy, but he's being like Guy Ferrari, but he has severe PTSD. Like, and he's like in the kitchen, and things start happening that start triggering him, and he starts getting like these raged moments. Yeah, it was okay. Not as funny as the plane one.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's a channel on there, I'd go through the catalog and watch them all.
Have you seen? You haven't gone. Tom Segura hasn't come to Rama yet.
No, I haven't seen Segura yet. That's next month, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Denise would know. When the ghost comes down for a smoke, we'll ask.
I'm surprised she hasn't come down for a smoke yet. Usually,
Yeah,
I don't even know how long we've been
here.
recording, because it's that plus whatever we recorded before, which wasn't that much. We were only on for about, 12 minutes before everything went to shit?
Yeah, it just started.
Yeah, wasn't on for long. We're at 45 right now. Maybe she knows we were talking about her.
We start late or something.
No, I got here like 8:15, I think. What time is it now? I'm sure we have so many people watching. Oh, wow.
To 5.
6 people. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Sorry if we've been ignoring you. We were talking about Shane Gillis. Because, you know, that's always fun. See if anyone actually said anything. Usually no one says anything. That's too bad. But hey, thanks for joining us here on the Double D podcast. Always nice to have friends.
We survived the eclipse, the tornado, the earthquake.
Well, I didn't survive the eclipse because I'm wearing these damn sunglasses.
Philadelphia in the middle of the night. And we stormed Washington, D.C.
How long were you?
Times.
How long were you actually gone? I feel like it was. Was it just a week?
Yeah.
So the main thing you were doing? Was it going to a bunch of hockey games, or was there something else?
Two hockey games.
Yeah.
The Leafs played Philadelphia on the Tuesday night, and played Washington in Washington on the Wednesday night.
Okay.
But we were walked all over Washington, went to all the saw the Liberty Bell and the Independence Center, went to all the places, the market, and fucking after the game we ran up the fucking rocky stairs. It's funny because halfway up, you see, I got that video of running up, right? Because as we were driving there in the Uber, my fucking one older brother goes, I'm gonna run up those stairs just like Rocky. You can't run up those stairs. I fucking run up those stairs. Oh no, you can't. Yeah, I can. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're too old and fat. Yeah, watch me. Right. So, but there was this whole group of young teens, maybe early 20s. There was like, I don't know, about 30 or 40 of them halfway up the stairs there.
Yeah. And
they were doing some video. And when I was running up the stairs, right up halfway, they started cheering me. It was like, hey! And I ran up the rest of the way. And on my way back down, I noticed there was this one big lady they were playing this music, and all the kids were like dancing, and she was walking in front of them, doing this, singing this song, dance. It was a music video or something they were doing.
Okay.
And this lady, she had big tits.
Oh yeah, double D's.
Yeah, and she also had a big bulge. And then I realized they were all Transformers.
Well, they like Rocky too.
They had nothing to do with Rocky. Well, cheering me on. They cheered me on, so I was like, hey.
I thought you were one of them.
So.
Did you get a bulging disc running up those stairs?
No, come back down, maybe.
Hey, man.
But,
Rocky's
no, it was,
for everybody.
It was cool. Went and, we bar hopped all through Philadelphia. Anyway, we went to the game, and then after the game...
Did you go to Patty's Pub?
Patty's Pub?
That's the name of the pub in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, fuck, I don't know the names of the pubs we went to. We went to a bunch. And after the game, we went to this little bar that was like a 15-minute walk from our Airbnb.
Yeah.
Which was fucking... I mean, the beds were good, but there was no heat. The furnace didn't turn on. It was dirty.
That's no good. You never know what you're going to get.
Second night, the alarm was going off at 5 in the morning. So what the fuck's going on?
Oh, God.
And it's like the streets were like so narrow you could barely fit a car down the street. Cars parked on either side of the road, barely a sidewalk, and from corner to corner it's a building with a bunch of doors with apartments in it. It's like
everyone living stacked on top of each other.
We got there late at night trying to find a parking spot, and we're like, fucking, any stores that were down there, big metal roller doors locked up tight, like. Fuck, we're doing out here.
Sounds like
Ireland,
Ireland,
Philadelphia,
for
right?
Christ's sake.
But we were in the last bar before we went after the hockey game, talking to the bartender. She says, "So where'd you guys go?" So we said, "Oh, we were here." She goes, "Holy fuck, you guys walked all over fucking Philadelphia today? Did the whole city? Well, we're only here one day, so
you got to do it."
The next day we went to Washington, and went to. The Capitol Hill and Lincoln Memorial and White House and did all that kind of shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did all that in high school.
Washington's so much cleaner and nicer than fucking Philadelphia. You can definitely tell the thing about Washington D.C. We were at the one bar talking to the owner. It's like we saw these signs saying taxation without representation.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck does that mean? Well, in Washington, D.C., the people that kind of run the laws, make the laws, and runs for Washington, D.C., because it's not a state.
Yeah.
It's a district of Columbia. And the people that run that state are actually all the people that are in Congress that are voted from fucking all over. So you don't get to vote for You have no representative. It's like we vote for oral council people, right?
Yeah.
For our voice. They don't get that there. So they're kind of mandated by what Congress tells them has to fucking go on.
That's good.
Which is a bit of a weird fucking situation.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to live in that situation. But I mean, hey, that's their fucking choice.
We saw that Tesla fucking
The gorilla truck? Whatever they call it?
the metal truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, guy driving down the road. Yeah.
I still remember the time Elon was testing, he was like doing a demonstration about how the glass can't be broken.
Yeah.
And someone gives him this like ball, he just whips it and it just breaks the glass and sticks in it.
Well, he had it. He went to on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he said to Joe, he goes, "Yeah, I got it here." He goes, "It's bulletproof." Joe's like, "Oh, I'd like to see if I can shoot an arrow through it." And Elon's like, "Yeah, we can go do it now." Joe's like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "I got it out there. Let's go do it." So they went, and Joe fucking shot one of his arrows at it, put a little dent in the thing. The arrow just fucking shattered.
Nice. It's not.
Elon was just in the back laughing his head off.
Oh, he loves shit like that. I mean, if I was ridiculously rich, I'd be doing silly shit too.
Fuck.
It's fun times.
Oh, we went. So there was this restaurant on the corner where Airbnb was just down the road, called. Oh fuck! I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, we went in there for dinner before the hockey game,
Yeah.
and ordered burgers.
Mm.
You know you're getting a burger. You know you're getting a good burger when they say, "How would you like your burgers cooked?"
Nice.
It's not just fucking dead. You can get them, medium rare, medium well, whatever, and they come out exactly as you ask them to be.
That is good. Yeah, you don't usually get that.
They don't
At a burger place.
in fucking Canada. They don't even ask. They cook them well done because everybody's afraid you're gonna fucking die of something.
Yeah, I remember watching Pulp Fiction, and he's ordering a steak.
The big board in Washington. Burgers, fantastic. You
Big
gotta go
board?
there. Big board restaurant.
Yeah, there's a scene where Jonathan Gold is ordering a steak, and Steve Buscemi's like, "How do you want that? Burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell?" I'm like, "Bloody as hell." And then she's ordering the burger, and she asks for it bloody, like she wanted it, kind of like not overly cooked. And I'm like, "You can do that? You ask like to have your burger medium well or medium rare or just rare?"
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Usually when I eat a burger, even on the barbecue, anyone I know, they cook the shit out of it.
Yeah, you want it pink inside still.
Well, I like it when it's still juicy inside.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Anyways, that's very good.
Sounds tasty.
Fuck. So we go to so Philadelphia. We're buying beers. My two sons. My youngest is 28, right?
Yeah.
Which was 34. So we're and there's me and then my two older brothers, and my nephew, my oldest brother's son-in-law, who's my age, and so we're all pretty old.
Yeah.
Even my kids are pretty old, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So Philadelphia, no problem buying beers. In Washington, we go up. Garrett and my older brother Jim go up and try to buy beers in the arena. Well, 6 beers, 6 of us. Cans. Can we see our ID? Fucking got driver's license, right? Show them, what's this? Well, we all show our ID. It's our driver's license. Ontario, it's government. Oh, no. We won't take these. Gotta have a passport. Well, don't bring a passport to a fucking hockey game.
no.
But, I mean, do I look like I'm fucking younger than 21? Right? No, they won't serve us. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fine. We'll go down to the next one. Let's just go down to the next one. Go down to the next one, and again, Bert, Jim, and myself, we have 6 beers. Sure. It's ID. Give her the driver's license. She looks at him. Sure, no problem.
Some people are just assholes.
Gives out the fucking beers, right?
Yeah.
And then later in the game, at intermission, me and my son go out to a kiosk where they're serving beer. He goes up, the youngest of all of us, he goes up, buys a beer. They don't even ask ID. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Like,
I don't know. I've never been a bartender, but I've worked security, and it's like, yeah, carding people, it's like every now and then you want to trust your instincts, but then it's also like,
I know, but look at me.
I know, this guy. They were probably looking at you thinking, where are these fucking guys from? They don't look like they're from around here.
There was this after we got denied at the one place. We were
Bush.
walking away in Washington in the arena. We turned to walk away, and these two young-looking guys come up, and they're like, "You guys just got fucking." They wouldn't accept your ID. They asked you for ID, right? I'm like, "Oh, just go to another one." And they're like, "But maybe you want to take off those jerseys." We had our Leaf jerseys on in Washington, but the guy was wearing a Pittsburgh jersey. That's probably even worse.
Yeah.
In Washington, right? So I'm like,
That's
yeah,
brave.
but you got a Pittsburgh jersey on. You still got. He goes, yeah, true enough.
That's brave walking around Washington with a
We walked
Leaf
around
jersey.
Philadelphia. Everyone's saying, no, don't. You could be nothing. We walked around Philadelphia, and then we went to the game with our jerseys on. That was fine.
Yeah. I mean, the one good thing is they'll look at you and go, oh, they're Canadian. If they saw an American wearing a Leafs jersey, they'd probably be pissed. But if they listen to you talk for a minute and they're like, oh, well, they're Canadian. Well, it's not their fault.
Apparently, if you do that, if you go to a football game with the opposition, then
Well, that's the thing with football.
that's a little bit
They'll
different.
fucking kill you. Like, there was this movie I watched years and years ago, and I love it. It's got Samuel Jackson and what's his name? The guy from the 28 Days Later movie, 28 Weeks Later. Robert Carlyle. And it's this buddy movie. It's all about drugs. It's called Formula 51. And Robert Carlyle plays this guy who's a huge soccer fan. And Manchester's playing Liverpool. And he works as like with the criminal underworld. He's like a fixer, a guy who takes care of business. And he's taken this job just to get tickets to the fucking game, where he's got to escort this chemist around to a drug deal.
Right.
And the whole time, all he's doing is talking about this fucking soccer game. And he stops the car in the middle of, like, the transportation of this guy to go into a bar, light a flare, and just fuck with all the guys in the bar, and then run out the back. I remember watching it going, damn, what the hell's going on in this movie? And then I learned more about the whole crazy soccer culture in England. And later,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's not that weird.
Used to be even worse.
They do shit like that to each other.
Yeah.
You ever see Green Street Hooligans?
No.
Oof, that's all about the soccer club
Yeah.
culture. And it's about an American guy who has to go to stay with his sister who lives in England. And Elijah Wood plays him. Like a young, doe-eyed Elijah Wood. And he gets to England and starts hanging out with his sister's brother-in-law, who's played by Charlie Hunnam. And this was before he did Sons of Anarchy. It was
Right.
a young Charlie Hunnam. And he's like the captain of one of these crazy soccer clubs. And it's about this like doe-eyed American boy getting involved with these crazed gangs of soccer guys that just go around fighting each other all the time. And it was a pretty intense movie. But yeah, there's a lot of people getting punched in the face.
Yeah, some of those soccers are fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
They have to physically separate them in different sides of the arenas and everything.
Yeah, no, I would never want to go to one of those soccer games. And people
Shit.
bring their kids. It's like, no. That shit's too fucking crazy and violent, and no.
I don't think it's quite like that anymore.
Maybe
I
not
don't know.
anymore. But
Maybe in the lower leagues because they got the different divisions and shit, or who knows, but
lower leagues is where all the action is, though. You ever watch, like, the really grimy backyard, mixed martial arts fights?
no.
Like, guys fighting barefoot on grass with, like, a shitty
Yeah,
octagon.
yeah.
Guys look like they've never fought a day in their life. You see some entertaining
They
shit,
injure
though.
themselves fucking pretty good, those ones.
Yeah, some of them are.
You were speaking of Sons of Anarchy, and it got me thinking about Tig. Kim Coates.
Oh yeah,
He's going to be in The Walking Dead.
he is. In the standard Walking Dead or one of the spin-offs?
Well, no, I think the standard Walking Dead, whatever, is done, right?
Is it done?
Yeah, it's done. So they did.
They got the Dixon one. They got the Michonne and Rick one.
The Michonne and Rick one's over too.
They just did one season.
They just did the one season, and kind of just wrapped up all the loose ends type of thing
No, okay.
for them.
So
What was the other one? The ones with fucking Negan and
Oh yeah, Dead City.
Dead City.
I can't keep it all straight. Which one is he going to be on?
That one.
Dead City. Okay.
And the guy from Supernatural, one of the brothers.
Oh, Jensen Ackles, the guy who did the Boys. He was talking about wanting to be involved in the Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
apparently he's in that as well.
Well, that'll be fun. He's a great.
The Michonne one we watched it 6 episodes or something was.
All right, just all right.
It wasn't even. It was okay. It was just.
Yeah, I don't feel a compulsion to watch any of those things anymore. I mean, I liked it when I liked it, and then I started to be like, this isn't even. I'm not even enjoying this anymore. It's too. Like, the scope is so far back that I've lost interest in anything that's happening. There's so many pieces on the board, I don't give a shit about any individual pieces anymore.
The Rick and Michonne one, those who remain, no, those who survive, no, what is it? Those who survive, I think it is. Those who survived.
Yeah.
I think that's what they called it. Anyways, throughout the whole Walking Dead original series, the helicopter, the three those soldier guys with the 3 circles. Every once in a while, they'd pop in to a scene or an episode. Jada, that trash car,
Yeah, the trash lady.
right? But there was these little hints right from almost the first season. The helicopter flying through the city and Rick seeing it and had the 3 circles on it.
Yeah.
This episode, this Michonne and Rick thing, it closes that gap and explains what that all was.
Okay.
That's all part of that.
It was Neodyne. It was Marcus in the helicopter.
Yeah. That's what they called it.
Yeah, again, if I start a show, I usually have a compulsion. I have to finish it. I have to know what happens. But then there's shows like Dexter, and there's shows like The Walking Dead, and it's like I didn't finish them, and it's like I don't know, like House. Even House, I didn't finish. There aren't many shows I don't finish.
I reluctantly finished The Walking Dead because I just had to.
I don't know, man. I get so little free time. It's like, when can I justify sinking in the amount of hours it would take to finish the show and then watch all the spin-offs?
Fear the Walking Dead was good for a while, and then it got.
I watched the first season and I didn't like any of the characters on the show. Like, if you're watching a show, you should like at least one character. And I feel like the only character I liked was the shop owner. There was like a
Cuban guy,
the Cuban guy.
Yeah.
I kind of liked him, and I felt like he was being vilified because he was like, we got to kill these things. We got to defend ourselves. We need guns. And everyone's like, oh, guns are bad.
So he turned out being. He was somewhere in Central America somewhere, and he was a high up who assassinated people, kidnapped people, and assassinated people and stuff and then he
For the
escaped.
mob or something?
No, not for the mob, but for whatever
The government?
government down there or whatever. Yeah,
Hmm.
right. And then he escaped and was living under an assumed
Wow.
identity in the States.
Just like, shit. You ever watch Deep Space Nine?
Oh yeah,
The Tailor?
Taylor.
The Tailor on the station. He used to be an assassin. He was a Cardassian.
I'm trying to think.
He was always working with them, and
Right.
he was
Yes,
torturing
yes,
people
yes,
and doing
yes,
crazy
yes,
shit.
yes, yes.
Yeah, he was a great character on that show. I can't remember. I think it was Garrick. Yeah. Now, any episode with him in it, he would always be so suave and very well spoken, but basically giving advice on how to twist around any situation.
Wait, he was the guy with the big ears?
No, that's a Ferengi.
Oh, Ferengi, yeah.
You're thinking of Quark. No, Garrick was he was a Cardassian, so he had like the red the big collar.
Oh, yeah. Right, he had the big neck thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yes.
Yeah, that was
That's
great.
right.
And he was, again, he was an assassin who'd worked for the Cardassian government, and then he went into hiding and became a tailor on Deep Space Nine.
Right.
So he had a little tailor shop, and he still did some work out of it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, good characters, good shows. Although I was watching something the other day. There's this guy, he does these videos, they're Star Trek videos, where he's explaining Star Trek to somebody who doesn't know what Star Trek is. And he's playing both characters. And he was talking about how Deep Space Nine is the most unique of all the Star Wars or Star Trek shows because it was made out of syndication. It was like there was something about the way it was made where it didn't. The people who made every Star Trek thing before had no creative control over it.
Right.
Which is why it did a lot of the things it did and got away with it. It was interesting. I can't remember everything he said, but all the stuff he was talking about, I was like, "What? Really? Like, damn, that's interesting." And for a while, there was something about, I don't know, I can't even remember all of it. There was so much, when there's so much information? All I remember is that the information was very interesting because it was a very edgy show.
Yeah.
You look back and you think about stuff that happened on Deep Space Nine. Stuff like that didn't happen on a lot of the other Star Trek shows. But I don't know if I'd want to go back and rewatch the whole thing.
Well, see, because Deep Space Nine was stationary, right? So they had to develop stories that were happening.
Yeah, it was a hub though. That whole station was a hub of all races and all political things.
Yeah,
and eventually they moved around. There was I think an entire season where the crew wasn't even on the station,
right?
Because it got taken by the Dominion. So there was I think 3 characters still on the station, and everyone else was off station on the Defiant, and they were running the warpath to try and take the sector back.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a great season. I remember watching that one in high school and loving it because it was a war, so there was ships getting blown up almost every episode.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things to watch is spaceship combat.
But I was gonna say, all the other Star Trek or Enterprise or Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, they're roaming around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine. No, that's the.
Deep Space Nine is. That's the one. Are you thinking of another show?
No.
The one underwater.
What was the one?
Sequest?
No. What was the one where? No, there was the Enterprise, right? The first one, Enterprise.
Well, Star Trek. The
was
original.
The original Star Trek.
And then there was Deep Space. No, it was Next Generation.
Right.
Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then Enterprise.
Voyager had the female captain.
Yeah, Janeway.
Yeah, Voyager was the one I was thinking of. But they were all ships that went around and had different ventures around.
Mm-hmm.
Or Deep Space Nine was a space station.
Yeah.
So the storylines were. They had to develop more different.
They did.
You know what I mean?
It's like the story has to come to us.
It was a stationary thing where these other ones just go find adventures.
Yeah.
Go find whatever stories.
Well, and Voyager had such a great concept of they could do whatever they wanted. The Federation was just on board the ship, nowhere else. Because they were flung into the Delta Quadrant.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So
they that's right.
I think
they were trying to
worked
make
it
their
out.
way back.
It would have taken them 75 years at maximum warp without stopping to get home.
Right.
Yeah. And so they decided to try and basically make allies and find ways to improve their technology rather than just trying to stay in warp the whole time. The ship wouldn't last 75 years. It would have fallen apart.
Right.
So yeah, they had to kind of take it slow until they, got canceled. And then it's like, okay, we need to get home. The Borg. Let's just do something with the Borg. The Borg will get us home.
The Borg.
That's eventually how they did it. A version of Janeway from the future came back to the ship and helped them use a Borg conduit to get the ship back, essentially. Yeah. And there's so many great episodes about like how they almost got back or they did something.
Or they could have got back, but they
would have to sacrifice something.
Yeah,
Their integrity.
Yeah.
And it was notorious. I mean, these were some of the best episodes, but notorious for the entire episode being erased, like by the end of the episode. The entire struggle was to fix something, and then the episode ends, and it's like it begins again, and the entire story you just saw doesn't actually technically happen.
Right.
Like there was my favorite 2-part episode. I think it was in season 6. It's called Year of Hell, and it's about this big ass ship built by this alien race. They were at war with another race, and they've been fighting for hundreds of years, and one side built this ship that could erase things from existence.
Oh,
and
geez.
it existed out of the realm. It could do things with matter, but it didn't exist in, like, it was like fluctuating. So time was frozen on it. So all the people on board, they weren't aging, and when they erased their enemy, they basically destroyed their own empire, because millions of years ago they basically evolved from the same thing. They had a similar ancestry. So when they erased the other aliens, they fucked up their own ancestry, and they became a weakened society.
Mm-hmm.
So these aliens on this ship, and the guy who plays Red on that 70s show is the captain of the ship. So
right.
It's a great character for him. They're just going around erasing shit in this quadrant, and Voyager comes through. They start getting harassed by this alien race, and they're like, okay, well, you guys are a bunch of little bitches. You're shooting at our ship, and you can't possibly fight us. Leave us the fuck alone, and we'll be gone. So they keep pushing through the quadrant. They erase something else, and then this race becomes extremely powerful again. Their ships are massive. And they start attacking Voyager, and as this ship is observing Voyager, they take 2 people off the ship to study them, and are like, okay, now, we'll just let this ship get destroyed. And the whole 2 episodes takes place over a year, where Voyager gets pounded over and over again. The ship's getting blown to shit. Crew members are dying. Tuvok goes blind. Like, all this horrible shit happens. Janeway gets almost burned alive. And by the end of it, they finally figure out the only way to fix everything that's been done is to destroy the ship and erase the fact that it ever existed. And Janeway fucking kamikazes Voyager into the ship, blows it up, and the whole thing resets.
I think I can remember that one.
It was a great 2-parter. The action in it was insane. Voyager was getting completely destroyed. A great antagonist. Yeah.
So there's also Picard.
I never watched Picard,
Neither
but I
did
want to.
But it's right. That's Picard retired and he gets sucked back into space somehow.
I'm not sure exactly how it comes. It's probably the Borg. It's probably Picard. Like
Borg,
something's going on with the Borg. And I think in the first season he assembles like a young crew, and the only person he talks to from the other shows is 7 of 9. She's in the first season, I think.
Right.
And by the time it gets to season 2 or 3, whatever, he's like back on the Enterprise with the entire crew from
The
Next
original
Generation.
crew?
Yeah,
Really?
the whole crew's back together.
Really?
Because I saw this clip.
I didn't know that.
I wish I hadn't seen the clip, because I'm like, God, I would have loved to have watched up until this moment, and then this moment happens. But everyone was nerding so hard that they were sharing it all over. And it's Data piloting the Enterprise with everyone on board the bridge inside a Borg cube, like fucking Star Wars, flying it inside, firing
In the cube.
inside
Yeah,
the cube,
yeah,
like flying
yeah.
through openings and blowing shit up, and there's a huge battle going on, and I'm watching, I'm just like, this can't be real.
Now, is it a rebuilt cube, or it's the same cube that blew up, but it was only partially blew up, and they rebuilt it?
The Borg can do that. Because when their cubes get blown apart, they come back together like the T-1000. But yeah, it's like I want to watch Picard just to get to that moment where Data's gleefully flying the Enterprise through this giant Borg structure.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that. What's going on here? What do you have in your phone there? Somebody sent you a
Live
picture?
will end in refresh. Verify to continue. Oh, I have to put the puzzle piece in because it's been going on too long without me doing anything to it. Oh well. Hey, three people. I hope you enjoyed our nerdy Star Trek rant. Well, yeah, no, I definitely.
What do you remember from Star Trek?
What's your favorite Star Trek moment? I can tell you the one that traumatized me as a kid. It was an episode of Next Generation where there were these parasites that were infecting high up members of Starfleet, and Picard and Riker kind of figured out what was happening. And there's a scene where there's like this admiral, and they confront him, and you see this fucking like little crabby parasite thing. He's already got one inside him, but it like climbs up him and
Goes in his
goes
mouth.
in his mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm watching. I'm like, oh my god! And they shoot this guy in the face with phasers and melt his face off, and it's just like his skeleton there. And then they shoot him again, and then the parasites come out. This big version of the parasite comes out of the guy's neck, and they shoot that thing and vaporize it. And I was like, what the? This isn't fucking Star Trek. It looked like the X-Files. Like something Mulder and Scully would have done. Now I was watching, I wasn't like a little kid. I was maybe 9, 10 years old. I was like, that scared the shit out of me on Star Trek.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm not going to look for the clip because I'm scared to watch it again. It's going to like bring back childhood traumatic memories. Although it probably looks so silly now that like be laughable.
Right. Yeah.
Still, what scares you as a kid, it does something to you even as an adult.
What was the greatest invention in Star Trek? Like
The greatest invention in Star Trek?
that they had.
The dermal regenerator is pretty cool. I mean,
The which?
dermal regenerator.
What'd that do?
That's like if you got injured or something, they could use that to like heal you. The transporter freaks me out because I feel like your consciousness dies and you get cloned somewhere else.
So who hated using the transporter? There was somebody that
Bones.
hated Bones. That's right. The doctor.
McCoy
Yes,
hated
yes.
using the transporter, but he still did a bunch of times. He just hated doing it.
Right.
Yeah, first episode of Next Generation, Data meets him at a shuttlecraft because he refused to get on the
That's
transporter.
right.
Yeah, so it was bringing him into that episode. But there was some other. I mean, the holograph, the holosuites?
The holodeck.
Holodecks were freaking cool.
Number one.
Yeah.
You can go live a life that anything you want in there.
Some of the best episodes are shit that had to do with the holodeck.
Yeah.
Because it opened up endless storytelling.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you-
because it was just unlimited.
There was an episode, or maybe it was a two-parter, of Voyager, and it was all about the that war race. They were like predators, these big fucking things. I can't remember what they were called, but they were obsessed with war and taking trophies and killing everything. And they take over Voyager, and they search the holodeck for like Earth's most bloody battles and their biggest wars, and they find all this stuff about World War II. And they become obsessed with World War II. So they take over the ship, they expand the holodeck to make it huge, and they force everybody to relive, like, Nazi occupation.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
And every time someone gets hurt or killed, the doctor has to heal them and send them back in with no memory of what happened.
Yeah, I remember
And
that
they're
one.
just, like, recreating war games of stuff that happened on Earth. I mean, you can only do that on a show like Star Trek, quite that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, holodeck. I'd say holodeck. If I could, pick between a dermal regenerator and a holodeck, I mean, it would be nice to be able to heal all that's broken.
Holodeck.
Holodeck? That'd be pretty sweet. I feel like you'd never go outside, though. But you'd have synthetic outside.
That's right. It'd be like you can climb mountains, you can go skydiving, you can do anything on it.
They do a lot of stuff worse than that,
And a
man.
harem.
You gotta think. You go into a holodeck and you bang a hologram, you're still busted nut. You're getting busted nut all over the floor of the holodeck. I mean, do you go in there with a mop after?
Oh, they probably have like little
Zaps it?
Yeah, something.
Little seed zappers. You see, the thing is, Star Trek's so wholesome They never really approached that. Yes, we had the idea that people were going into holograms and having romantic relationships, but they never have to deal with the idea. Like, the Orville could probably touch on that. Somebody has to go in and mop the holodeck.
I still have to watch that.
Oh, I love it. Because it is kind of like Star Trek satire, but it's also like the best Star Trek show you've never seen. Because it does have its own serious themes, and it's like season-wide story arcs that are done really well.
If a vegan swallows,
Right.
are they still considered a vegan?
It's raw.
Protein.
So, I mean, they didn't cook it. So
Can you eat raw meat then if you're a vegan?
well, some of them drink milk.
That's not vegans. Maybe vegetarians.
Yeah, I'd say if you're taking loads to the mouth, then you could be a vegetarian but not a vegan.
If you swallow.
If you swallow. I mean, even if you spit, you're still ingesting. You'd have to be a, on the tits kind of person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Inquiring minds wanted to know.
And I mean, if you eat the ass of a person who eats meat,
You're
you're a
wolf.
vegan.
That's just, yeah.
And I'm saying, if they like Taco Bell squirt on your face,
Oh, okay. You know what? We've
then
just gone off the
technically-
rails.
technically-
This was a really wholesome show. Up
oh,
until
of
now.
course, so wholesome. If you
There's
and
no
your
swearing.
friggin' Philadelphia staircase tranny party.
Oh, that's what was there. Right? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and I'm just asking questions. You were asking the
Transformers were there.
The Transformers were there, and I'm asking a simple question about whether or not, if somebody who ate a steak accidentally shits in your mouth, are you then no longer vegan?
Fucking hear this guy.
But it was an accident.
Come down and answer that, ghost. Oh, here comes the ghost.
Moving on.
And our favorite part of our episode is the ghost. Hey, ghost.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, how are you?
I said hi first, and you said hi,
Good, I haven't
Dan.
seen you in forever.
I know. You've been good?
Yes, goods and bads, highs and lows. But I'm feeling much better now. I had about
Dan has a question.
You were sick?
Yeah, I was sick for about 10 days. I'm coming out of it now.
Oh, shoot.
Dan has a question.
Okay. Shoot.
So this is really gross. But Doug was asking me if a person who is vegan takes a shot to the mouth during, some oral stimulus, does that count as eating meat?
No.
To which I said, well, okay. If,
Okay, actually, what I actually said, if
Oh,
a vegan
sorry.
swallows, can they still be considered a vegan?
It's not meat.
No, but it's protein. It's not. It's nature.
empty
it's-
calories, though.
It's little heads with tails swimming
It's
around.
protein. It's giving you muscle strength. What the hell? It's not-
Vegans can't have any. Yeah, vegans can't have anything like that.
They'd lose their vegan powers.
I think so.
You ever see Scott
That's
Pilgrim
the
versus the
question.
World?
Huh?
That's
You ever
not-
see Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
No.
Where there's the guy, he's got like superpowers because he's vegan. But then the vegan police come along and they confront him on times that he ate meat and they take away his powers. Classic.
Who says cum is protein?
Well, it is. It's what
It's
everybody's made of.
I think there is. I'm not sure how many grams of protein,
Oh my god.
but there is talk. I've heard it referred to as empty calories. Yeah. Once had a girl being like, "Yeah, let me know. I don't want your
It's
empty
little,
calories."
It's little living creatures.
Anyway, that was his question.
Oh my gosh.
Mine was exponentially worse. Because I'm like, how do I top that? Yeah. But I'll spare you that.
Go for it.
So,
Oh God.
if a vegan's eating someone's ass, and they just ate like a bunch of Taco Bell, and they accidentally let one kind of go, would that make them not vegan anymore?
It's disturbing.
What's disturbing is he started licking his lips while I was asking this question.
Like fuck. It's all on fucking video and it's all for content.
All for content.
Okay, my question is if I'm okay with two girls, whatever.
What,
You
munching,
know what? Whatever.
munching trow on each other?
Well,
Carpet
whatever.
munching?
Having a
Two
clam
girls-
bake?
Two girls, but two guys. It's a
Two
little
girls in this
different.
cup?
No.
Those girls aren't
It's a little
vegan.
different. Now,
Oh,
Okay, two girls are okay, but
The ladybug
my
tried to find my
question
mouth.
is that
got excited.
Yeah.
do they have to clean themselves out physically,
Who?
guys, if they're going to be
Doing the butt stuff?
yeah?
Well, it's a matter of
Because
courtesy.
they'd be jamming that shit up there.
Well, this is the thing, and I watched a show once where they kind of covered this. It was a show about a guy who had CP, and he was gay, and it was about him trying to navigate
What's CP?
cerebral palsy.
Oh.
So he was trying to navigate, having a disability and being gay, and the relationships and whatnot. And he ends up in a relationship with a guy, and the guy, the guy is always kind of like. They would like prepare for the anal. You make sure that you're kind of cleaned out. You make sure that you're there's not going to be anything weird going on. And spontaneously, one time he decides, can I do it to you instead? And the guy's like, okay, like wasn't expecting that, but sure. And it ends up being messy, and he's like traumatized by it. And it's like, well, you didn't let me prepare. I didn't know. I was trying to be spontaneous.
That's fucking gross.
So they have to,
But that's what they do. I had a
they have to
roommate.
prepare every time.
Well, if you want it to be a clean experience, you want to make sure that you're flushed. Flushed or at least evacuated. I had a roommate once who was obsessed with trying anal, and before she was ever going to do it with this friend of hers, she was like, I have to like purge myself. I don't want any incidents. And any time she was hooking up with a guy, it would be like, I would see the stuff on the counter as she was getting herself ready. I was like, Jesus Christ. She's like, what? I'm having an adventure tonight. That's why spontaneous, not a good idea for that, especially if you got high thread count. Yeah. The wolves don't care. They go for that ass either way. Hey, it was nice chatting with you.
Yeah,
I'm hoping next time we chat, it won't be about something so fucking disgusting. But your husband is a damn degenerate.
Oh my god. Oh, Lord.
Husband? That's the fucking ghost.
Yeah, you're married to a ghost. There's nothing wrong with that.
We're over.
I wrote an entire script about a guy who's
We got
infatuated with a
canceled.
demon who's living in his house with him.
They wanted to fuck him up the ass.
No, she didn't want to fuck him up the ass, but
So the demon had
She
to
was-
evacuate the
she was slowly
demon seed.
feeding off of his heart, unintentionally killing him. But she wasn't going to eat his ass. Although at the end he might have eaten her ass. You read that script. I sent it to you. There was no ass eating in it. There was a whole lot of it. Fucking violence right at the end, though. Turns into a fucking bloodbath at the end.
Fuck.
You remember that script?
Yeah?
Joni?
Jesus.
I'd love to film that, man, but
This podcast fucking fell off the rails.
that's where this podcast lives. Whenever anyone emails me and they say, hey, it's great when you guys are talking about normal stuff, but I feel like you shine when you're trying to make each other uncomfortable, or you're trying to see how far you can go without Doug going, okay, we're done. No more.
We got canceled.
You just talked to my wife about someone Taco Bell shitting in their mouth. That's why she won't come on the show.
You fucking blame her.
She's been on the show more than anyone else. She's our most reoccurring guest.
Ghost, yeah.
And she may never have sat in the chair,
Ghost of the cabin.
but she's fielded many, many questions. And the most difficult of all to
Bush Light.
Bush Light. I wonder how many. Oh, we've still got people watching. Even after that? Even after that disgusting shit, people are still watching? This is why I love you guys. It doesn't matter how disgusting it gets. You stick around. It's like, I wonder what nasty shit they'll talk about next.
I don't know. I'm almost speechless now. I'm almost lost of what to say.
Well, it's got me
How do you
wondering,
talk that?
if they have wind farms, could they possibly harvest queefs? Queef farms. Sounds nutritious.
God.
Okay, I'm done. I don't have to make... I think that's about as bad as I could get.
Well, yeah. Okay. So,
Any last news?
let's see. Let's see what we can pull up.
Any
weird-
exit-
What's
exit
weird on
through
the
the gift
news
shop?
here?
What's fucked up online? You guys got anything for us? We're probably going to end this shit off. Anyone got a question? I mean, I could scroll back and look, but... I mean, I guess we haven't been interacting with you guys that much during this because...
Who? Is there anybody even there? I don't even believe there's anybody there.
There's actually like 8 or 9 people
Say
there.
fucking something.
Usually you're in there perusing and interacting with people, but... Apparently there's...
The best sci-fi series lied to fans from the beginning.
Yeah, I saw something about that, about Battlestar.
Battlestar Galactica series is more than just a stellar reboot. I heard they're making another one again.
Yeah, we talked about that, remember?
Oh, yeah.
You asked me the question,
That's
would
where I
you,
heard it before.
if you were like
That's where I
stuck on
heard
an
it
island, would you want to be there with the original, the remake, or the re-remake that you haven't seen yet? Naturally, I feel like I'd want the newest
evil
version.
reboot, Cylons. They have a plan. However, the Titan ever began to fall apart near the end. The showrunner eventually admitted that the 2017 Battlestar Galactica reunion panel, blah blah blah, there was no plan. No. Who knows what they're talking about?
Good night.
Good night. We're almost done after Dan's like debauchery.
I'm not that debaucherous. I mean, technically they had a plan. Their plan was to try and re-assimilate with humans. The plan was to destroy, dominate, and enslave. But also to trick them. They didn't have clear direction because the direction seemed to keep changing. And then at the end, it was like, do you remember the end? The very end?
I only saw the original one.
You never saw the remake?
No.
Boy. Got pretty wild at the end there. It's like, wait, what? There's a lot of, there's like a cycle of, this whole idea of like, everything happens in a cycle, right? There was this catchphrase, all of this has happened before, all of it will happen again. And there were characters that would see visions of people, and you would always wonder why are they having, like, why is this main character having this vision about this person? And it's like, well, that's not actually the person that they knew. That's that version of a person from another cycle of the existence. Right? Because, like, time and space has that much, like, so much happens over and over again. And yeah, by the end it was like, what? Could somebody explain this to me? And I don't think anyone could ever really fully explain exactly what the hell was happening on Battlestar. And one of the characters, what they did to the character, and then how they explained what was going on by the time they get to the end, and it's like, oh, well, that's what they were. I was very unsatisfied that because that was like a big character on the show. Their ending was just. Then other people's were good, but yeah. I mean, you're never going to get if you have an ensemble show, you're never going to like how everyone's story ends up.
Right.
It doesn't work out that way. I think there's only been a few shows where I'm like, I really liked how that it worked out, not necessarily perfect for everybody, but in the right vein. I feel like I felt that way at the end of The Expanse. I was sad that it was over.
Expanse. I didn't even see that. I didn't watch that one either.
I love that fucking show. I'm very much considering rewatching it.
But and what is it about? I know I've heard it.
The Expanse?
Yeah.
It takes place. It's a sci-fi. It takes place in the future, and Mars has been colonized. Space has been colonized. So there's space stations everywhere, and the humans have basically divided into 3 factions. You got your Earthers, your Martians, and Belters. And Belters are the people who worked in space to build all this shit, and generations of taking drugs to allow them to work in space has changed their physiology so that they can't live on planets anymore. They're not physically strong enough to live on a planet. They have to keep living in space.
Right.
So they technically have no homeworld. And it's about just this like war brewing in this world where there's always tension between Earth and Mars, and the Belters are kind of like gypsies of space. And they're always kind of fighting for acceptance and to be treated fairly and to have a home of their own. And it follows the story of this guy who is just trying to exist quietly out of the way of everything on a ship hauling water back and forth, back and forth. He just doesn't want to be involved in any shit. And he gets caught up in this situation and kind of he becomes a focal point of this huge conspiracy that balloons outward.
Right.
Just because he decided one day, that's wrong, I got to do the right thing. And it just goes... And it reveals this massive cover-up that's going on in Earth's government, Mars's government, and just everything. And it's like basically Game of Thrones in space. Like that level of like things are happening all over the place.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I love that show. The first season is like 1 part sci-fi drama, 1 part detective story, and then the second season kind of continues along that path. And the third season was my favorite season of the whole thing. That's when the shit hits the fan, and it's go time.
Right.
I fucking love it. I can't recommend it enough. But.
Expanse. I'll have to check that out.
And the books are great. I haven't read all the books, but I'm about halfway through Leviathan Wakes, which is the first book that I think the first 2 seasons are based on. Really well written.
Yeah.
Great storytelling, great characters. Yeah.
Not much of a book guy anymore, so.
I started reading it, I got about halfway through, and I don't have the time to read the way I used to. Like, I get time to myself in little fragments. I don't get like an hour to just sit and read. That's not my life. But when you have young kids, that's not your life. And then when you get your quiet time and towards the end of the night, if I tried to read after I put the kids to bed, I'd fucking fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know? I should probably be reading at work, like on my breaks and stuff. You know, bring a book, leave it at work, and just, you know, when I get 15 minutes here or there. Stuff them. So, I mean, getting 15 minutes, you don't really get into it. You get, like, what, 5 pages?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I need somebody just to read to me while I'm driving. I mean, I know that's what audiobooks are for, but it feels lazy. I used to do audiobooks all the time, and then I felt like if I told someone I read the book, I felt like I was lying.
Tried the audiobooks. It's different.
It
When
is.
you're reading it, it's a different absorption of the story than somebody just.
Yeah.
You know.
You remember it differently when you actually read it versus somebody reads it to you. But maybe we're just crazy old men.
No, definitely. I'm a crazy old man.
I'm just getting there.
But that's okay. 'Cause I've enjoyed my life.
Hey, 13 people.
13.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
I almost want to say, okay, that's it for tonight because it's late and I'm so busy at work and everything, but I don't want to just hang up on 13 people. We got 13 people.
Although
What's going on?
I see
It's
there's
now
13.
the what's this called? The Discord part of our no.
Fool me, don't be ignorant. Someone said. That's the last comment we got.
Fool me, don't be ignorant.
Yeah.
Who's ignorant?
I don't know. Maybe we're ignorant?
What were we ignorant about?
Or maybe he followed me and he expects me to follow him back, and if I don't follow him back, then I'm ignorant?
Definitely.
Well, it wouldn't be the first person to call me ignorant, and I've been called worse. By Doug.
This is the Patron part of our, not the Patron.
Patreon?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
The
That's
Patron.
That's the ticket.
Yeah, that's not bad.
The Patron part of the. Let's see where we are here.
What are you looking for? Carmen San Diego.
Where in the world is?
Carmen San Diego. There's a blast from the past. You would have been what? 19 when that show was popular? So I was like in elementary school, maybe. What? That's not an old joke. That's me gauging how old you would be relative to when I remember the show being popular on TV. You're about 10 years older than me, give or take 6 extra.
Oh, what the fuck is
Although
this?
maybe it was on when I was in high school. And it was like I was no longer into that shit, like when I was in grade 9.
What is that? Blues
Clues.
Is that what it's from?
Carmen San Diego?
No, different. Two different things.
Yeah, the two very different things. Carmen San Diego's a chick in a red trench coat that, you know, like when the kids would watch the show, they'd have to, like, figure out what country she was hiding in. Blues Clues is like, I don't know, a guy in a shirt with a cartoon dog, and they're trying to solve mysteries, and yeah, that's geared for, like, really small kids.
I think my youngest watched that one.
Yeah. It's still on. There's a bunch of different guys that have played. I think there's even a girl that's played the guy. Or the main character
Well,
on the
that's
show.
just wrong.
Nah, it's fine.
No, it's wrong.
There's been a bunch of renditions. Just like there's multiple Blippies. There's an OG Blippy, there's the other guy Blippy, and then I think there's a girl, and she doesn't necessarily play a version of Blippy, but she's a character similar to Blippy.
The fuck's a Blippy?
Blippy's a really... I mean, it's a great show for young kids because he teaches kids a lot of interesting stuff, and there's great songs that are very catchy, but Blippy himself is a fucking annoying character. And it's this guy in, like, fucking blue shirt and gray pants and orange suspenders, orange glasses, skipping around everywhere, playing kids' games and showing them stuff, and, hey, it's me, Blippy! Do you like tractors? We're gonna go to a farm, and we'll see tractors and cows, and it's gonna be great. And it's like I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, fuck you, you annoying ass bastard. But then he starts going into these songs about tractors and excavators, and they're actually well crafted and catchy. But when he's skipping around, oh, I mean, kids love it, and that's great. It's just when he starts to talk, I'm like, oh, fuck me. Like, I could watch The Wiggles for days. Like, it's, yes, oh, hello. Well, today we're going to be making something with our lavender mist. I wonder if we spray it in this direction, will the flowers turn purple? It's like, I can watch that and be like, yeah, you know, like, songs are catchy. Blippy is like fucking nails on chalkboard. Although the excavator song is catchy as fuck. I'm an excavator. I'll send you the link.
That's okay.
I'll send you the link.
If you sing it.
I'll send you the link.
Nurse!
I'll send you the link.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll be sure to,
Trouble me. Oh, hey, cheeky girl. How you doing? Where have I been hiding? I deleted TikTok for like a couple months. And then we haven't done a podcast in 3 weeks because Doug was in Philadelphia. And
Washington.
He's in Washington. And then, yeah, just a whole bunch of combinations of things. The production studio that we're associated with, loosely, got itself some sand under its feet the other day. So figured, hell, let's get the podcast going. Let's get
on the Crocs.
Let's get the TikTok live going. And yeah, having a little bit of fun. Did I see the eclipse today? That's why I've got these on. Blinded by the light. I didn't look directly at it. I'll be watching videos of it later. Find some pictures for the kids. Did you? Was it good? Or were you making dinner? You saw butt kiss. I enjoy seeing a good butt kiss every now and then. Although we went pretty deep into the butt kiss topic earlier. We don't need to rehash that.
You'll have to watch it back.
I don't think I'll be pulling clips from that part of the life. Although I might just pull the whole conversation with Denise. That was pretty funny.
It ain't being pulled. It's going up.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna do it yourself?
Yeah, you know what? It fucking
Don't wait
takes
for
too
me.
much time.
It looks better when you do it anyway.
Takes too much time. Just gonna fucking go up. Boom.
Just put the whole
Done.
just the whole disgusting sequence.
She said not.
I know
not
what you meant.
Kiss the butt.
Yeah, we're just disgusting human beings sometimes, especially at this point in the day. Just doing our Patreon bit.
It's actually still in the clips out there. It's still dark.
Yeah, I know. Damn moon still in front of the sun. What? You about ready?
Yes.
You just look at that. I can look at me, and then I look at you. And I'm looking at me, looking at you. And then I'm looking back.
That's weird.
I'm not obsessed with myself at all. And then I look back. And it's me looking at you, looking at me. It's like, I'm looking at me.
Here's the thing.
Looking at me, looking at me, looking at me. And he's looking at him, looking at him, looking at him, looking at him.
Here's the thing. We're doing this and having great joys in doing this. Because of the delayment. But no one out there will ever understand what the fuck we're doing.
That's pretty obvious. We're watching ourselves on a monitor while doing a TikTok live on my phone, and Doug's watching the TikTok live on his phone. So I'm watching two versions of myself, one in high def, one in shit low quality, and Doug's watching three versions of himself. Because I'm Mr. Vane, apparently.
And I'm Mr. Sleep, so we're signing
Doctor.
off.
Dr. Sleep.
That's what I said.
You said Mr.
I said, no, I didn't.
You did. You said Mr.
No, it's recorded. We can rewind it back. It's
Every time you say that, we end up rewinding it, and you
and
see
I'm
it,
always
and
right.
then you go into the emotional
Always
space.
right.
You're like, oh, well, you didn't let me finish. I said Mr. Sleep, but I was building up to the story of my doctorate.
Yeah, this was before I went to school.
Yeah,
I was Mr. Sleep.
I know.
Now I'm Dr. Sleep.
Yeah. And all I did
I
was
was
say...
I was just trying to explain that, and you had to fucking cut me off.
All I said was, it's doctor. And you said, that's what I said. You didn't say, oh, I was about to explain something. You claim that you said
You didn't let me
doctor.
finish.
I didn't
Sorry,
mean to.
Sorry, I didn't realize I had to go, I'm going to explain something, Dan, and then start doing it.
You enjoying yourself right now?
Yeah,
That's just like, hey, what well could we go get a bucket out of? Hey, let's do a reboot of Raylan Gibbons.
Leland.
That's good stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I think we'll. Yeah,
Let's put
Sleeping
a butt
Dogs.
plug in this.
yeah, definitely, especially after all that Taco Bell.
All right. We're back.
We're back. We will see you again. Hopefully, won't be 3 weeks next time. But we'll see. We'll see what next Monday was. What is it? Isn't it Tuesday?
Today's Monday.
Is today Monday? Oh yeah, I had a PA day. Monday!
Oh, that's right.
Well, until next time, friends, keep it loose or keep it tight. Move north.
Buy a truck.
Get somebody pregnant.
Good night.
Watch.